The story of humanity begins in the heart of Africa millions of years ago, long before there were cities or civilizations, before even written language. Our distant ancestors were evolving in the shadow of giants, both real and metaphorical. The rise of early human ancestors began with creatures that looked more like our closest ape relatives than humans themselves. Around 60 million years ago, the first primates appeared. These early creatures, small and arboreal, would eventually lead to the rise of the hominids. Approximately 7 million years ago, in Africa, one lineage of primates started down a new evolutionary path. They were the first hominins, the ancestors of modern humans. Sahelanthropus cadensis, one of the earliest known hominins, lived about 7 million years ago. Though its features were still close to those of modern apes, there were key differences. Its flat face and smaller canine teeth pointed to a shift in behavior, perhaps walking on two legs. But the real turning point came with the development of bipedalism. This change, which occurred over millions of years, allowed early hominins to travel across the open savanna, freeing their hands for tool use and carrying objects. Around 3.5 million years ago, Australopithecus afarensis walked the earth. One of the most famous members of this species is Lucy, whose 40% complete skeleton was discovered in Ethiopia in 1974. Lucy's ability to walk upright gave her an evolutionary advantage, allowing her to forage for food while keeping an eye out for predators. As millions of years passed, the evolutionary tree continued to branch. Around 2.5 million years ago, a new species emerged, Homo habilis. Often considered the first true human, Homo habilis had a larger brain than its ancestors and began using simple stone tools. These tools were essential for cutting meat and processing plant materials. Homo habilis was a scavenger, relying on both hunting and gathering to survive in the changing climate of Africa. Around 1.9 million years ago, a new species, Homo erectus, appeared. Homo erectus was much more advanced, with a body built for long-distance walking and running. It was the first hominin to leave Africa, spreading to Asia and Europe. Homo erectus also mastered fire, giving them a key advantage in surviving harsh environments. With fire, they could cook food, ward off predators, and keep warm during colder periods. But Homo erectus wasn't the end of the story. Around 300,000 years ago, Homo sapiens, our own species, evolved in Africa. Meanwhile, other human species like the Neanderthals were evolving in Europe. Neanderthals, who lived in Europe and parts of Asia, were skilled hunters and adapted to colder climates. They coexisted with early humans for thousands of years. Evidence suggests that we shared tools, art, and even interbred. Around 70,000 years ago, Homo sapiens began to migrate out of Africa, eventually replacing or interbreeding with other hominin species. Our ancestors spread across the globe. They adapted to diverse environments and developed complex societies. The rise of early human ancestors is a story of gradual change over millions of years. From the first hominins to the rise of Homo sapiens, humanity's journey is a tale of survival, adaptation, and growth. Today, the legacy of these early ancestors lives on in the diversity and innovation of modern humans. What began in the African savanna millions of years ago continues today, a species capable of altering the world, driven by curiosity, creativity, and the lessons of our past. The rise of early human ancestors is not just a story of the past, it's the foundation for our future. As we continue to explore our planet and beyond, we carry with us the legacy of those who walked before us, reminding us of the incredible journey that made us who we are. The story of humanity is still being written, and with every discovery, we gain a deeper understanding of where we came from and where we may be headed next.